boy. Taryam Boyd, welcome to the Shoot Fat Boy.
Thanks for having me on, man. This is lovely. This is a lovely wee studio setup, man. I'm happy to be on.
Thanks very much. And you're through here in Dundee doing icebreakers tonight.
Doing icebreakers at Henry's Coffee Shop tonight, man. It's always a lovely gig, always a lovely wee audience.
Yeah.
I'm worried that, because it's the same kind of people that come, there's always a couple that sit right there.
That's right, yeah.
And I'm worried that they've seen all the material, man. So I'm going like...
Yeah. They do have... It's a good thing and a bad... I suppose it's never a bad thing, but it's a good thing as well because they've got a lot of regulars that come, so it's got a lot of support.
I think that's why the vibe is so nice. But
And
I'm
it's
just
a nice
worried
vibe.
if they keep seeing the same stuff. But...
Exactly, yeah. So there is that essence that you might show up and you'd land a joke and they've already heard it in, so...
Yeah, but there's some new
It
stuff
happens.
in there.
But there's definitely weekends where I show up and I'm like, I only recognise about 5 people here, you know, and then other times I'm like, oh, I know everybody.
Yeah,
you know.
that, man.
So,
I
but
like Henry's.
yeah, no, it's a great wee place and it's certainly growing. Lewis is doing a great job with it.
That's getting good. Where do you? Is this a bit?
Yeah, I just sit it just about here.
A bit there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it should just sit for you. I'll
Cool.
pick you up, no problem.
Cool. I'm just not used to having such a big, fucking, you know.
Yeah, that's all right. That's no problem.
Cool.
We so you've just recently returned from Dubai, is that right?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu
Man.
Dhabi, sorry.
Dhabi. I spent a bit of time in Dubai as well.
Right.
It was good, man. It was really good. So I basically spent a month, came back for 2 weeks, and then was away for a month. I was there all through Christmas and New Year. So I didn't have a Christmas, man. My Christmas was just like a Wednesday. Like,
yeah.
I woke up and everybody was like, "Good morning."
Yeah,
and I was
whatever.
like, I was like, "Merry Christmas," and they were like, "No, come back at Eid." So
Yeah.
it was.
That was the same for me when I lived in Japan for 2 years.
You lived in Japan for 2
Yeah,
years.
yeah, in 96 to 98 when I was 19.
Wow.
And come Christmas, I woke up and the Japanese don't celebrate Christmas
Nothing.
because none to them.
Just a normal day.
And everybody's just going about. It was weird, obviously, because normally we're used to waking up and everything's shut down. Everybody's getting, you know,
There's
all
the feeling, man. There's the
it was just this
Christmas
vibe. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
no vibe.
Nothing.
Everybody's just going to work like it's a normal day.
It was like my body was trying to get the Christmas feeling, but there was nobody
Yeah.
to bounce it halfway.
Exactly.
Maybe it's like a
The only
collective
thing that was
Christmas
huge there was New Year's. New Year's was still celebrated on the same day.
But they don't do Chinese New Year?
No, they
because
still the
they're
same thing.
Japanese. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they had a big thing, and everybody goes out to see the first sunrise of the New Year's and things
That
like
sounds
that.
nice, man.
Well, at least when I was there, that's
what
what
were
they
you
were
doing
all
in
doing.
Japan?
I was a Mormon missionary out there.
Wow. So was that
So
door to door?
yeah, door to door.
Nice.
So you see the guys.
With
you might see them.
Japanese?
I was speaking Japanese. Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
That's
It's been
backstory, man.
probably about 20 odd years now since I've done it. So I only know little bits and pieces.
That's
But
good, man.
yeah, no, it was cool. It was a great experience. I absolutely loved it. And the Japanese people were amazing, really cool people. And I like to travel. I keep saying I'm going to go back, but it's been 20 years since I've just never ever. There's been other places I've been going, and I just keep thinking I need to go back
Yeah, no,
because I
man.
really loved it.
My Arab family go to Japan a lot, man.
Yeah.
My dad's right into green tea.
Okay,
So-
yeah, it's massive there.
Yeah,
It's
so
massive.
you get the green tea Kit Kats and that.
That's
so,
right. Yeah.
it was like, I think it was in like February. It was like, oh, we're gonna go to Japan on the WhatsApp group chat. And I was
Right.
like, oh, class, can't wait.
Yeah.
And then about June time, there was more photos in the group chat. Him and all my brothers and sisters in Japan. And I was like, I guess I'm just leaving this one, boys. So catch you on the next one now. But
Exactly.
they're always back and forth, man. They really enjoy it. so.
Fantastic. So you were in Abu Dhabi for about a month and that over Christmas.
Yeah.
So you're visiting you've got family there.
Yeah,
Is it your dad?
my dad's stays out there. It's a mental story. It's a long story for the comedy festival, man. Because
Fair enough.
I don't
Well,
really.
you should share what you want to share because I know you're doing a show.
Yeah, so I get the show in Mango on March 21st. The whole reason that I started comedy was because it was such a ridiculous like life story that
Sure,
I'd got.
yeah.
And before I'd even got up on a stage, it had already became a bit pretty much because people would go, so
Yeah.
your dad and your ma and your brother's wife
Yes,
and what's
yeah.
going on, and I'd have to explain. So the story itself was basically
It's written itself.
yeah, literally before I'd even touched the mic.
Yep.
It was the first like when I first got on stage, it was the first thing I talked about. It's been the kind of the constant, but this has been about 2 years of me building on this story and finding different parts of it, and I'm looking forward to getting it in March so that I can tell the complete story
Yeah.
all the way through, get it recorded, get it filmed, and then that's that done.
Yeah.
Because I think it was, who was I talking to about this? I think it might have been Jamie. can't mind. This is what always happens on comedy podcasts.
Yeah.
We try and remember the names, but the people watching it don't know who we're talking about. Only
Yeah.
other comedians
No.
are
That's fine.
But I was talking to some comedian about it, and he's like, I was talking about when I'm coming up with material. I feel like when I sit down, my brain's like, write about being Arab, man. Tell some Arab stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And he's like, it's like you found a wee vein to tap into there, and there's some material in it. But he's like, but it seems like you can't get to anything else. And I'm like, I know, because I feel like I need to get this story out. So I'm really looking forward to doing it in March, getting it completed, and then I'll have the set for that. But then I can move on to other, normal material. So I'm looking forward to doing other stuff, man.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I was I'll tell you the brief story is right. It's no brief at all, man. But I'll tell you. So basically, what happened is, my granddad was in the army.
Right.
Oh, don't know if I can say some of this, man. Don't know if the military will
Shut
the podcast down. That's
no,
fine, man.
No,
we'll
you'll be fine.
It.
We'll go for it and we'll wait and see what happens.
See what happens, man. MI5 getting involved. So my granddad was in the army,
right?
And he was sent to Abu Dhabi to train Arab soldiers.
Right.
While he was there, the Arab soldiers didn't want to be trained. So my granddad would say, like, run 100 meters, and they would go, oh, I don't have to. My father is very rich. And then genuinely, my granddad was for Brigton. He was like, so eventually the government were like that. We can't train these guys. Patch the mission, but you can stay in Abu Dhabi, bring your families out. You don't need to work, you don't need to do anything, but you still get your salary and your family can live on the army compound and all that. Is this secret information? We just don't know. Don't know.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. But so my mom was living there, and she met my dad. They were 15 when they met her there, so really, really young. My mom got pregnant with me, and the day after she found out she was pregnant, she had to get flown out the country by the army, because in a Muslim country, the dad has the right to the weans. Right. So they could have put her in jail, let her have me, then took me off her and deported her. Right. There was no... there was no... So they had to basically fly her out as soon as possible, get her back to Glasgow. My dad came here, but he was 15 years old, and a 15-year-old coming to Glasgow for the first time.
Yeah,
it was a culture shock out his
of course.
They seen like a knife fight, like his second day was here. He said that a guy cut a guy's arm open outside, and then the same guy was kind of helping him hold it together and piece it up and stuff. I was like, that's Glasgow, man. We'll chop you, but we're friendly. So he couldn't really handle that at all, man. As well as, I don't know if I don't think my grand's on Facebook. My grand gave him a tough time, man, for obvious reasons. Got a daughter pregnant in the foreign country.
That's going to happen.
A combination of all that, my dad went back to Abu Dhabi, and then my mom just basically kind of raised me up on my own. And then it wasn't until I was 18, got back in touch with my dad, and then went back to Abu Dhabi for the first time and met my whole family.
Extended family.
Literally, grands, cousins, aunties, uncles. So on the Tuesday morning, I just had, my mom, my gran, my auntie, and my brother. And then by the Thursday, I had this entire other world that I had never had access to before. So it's been wonderful, man. It was absolutely, there's been nothing more life-changing that's ever happened to me. Yeah. And now I just go back and forth between Glasgow and Abu Dhabi and spend time with the Arab family, and I come back like a wee bit more Arab every time. So it's like we're building it up.
That's all right, though. That's cool. It's good to get in touch with all that as well.
It's nice. And I was gigging out there as well, which was very interesting today.
And how was that?
Good.
Was this at Arabain clubs, or was it on American Army bases?
There's only really 2 comedy clubs out in the UAE, man. There's one called the Bomedy, which is, I don't know if they know. I don't know if MD's told them. and then there's Yalla Laughs, which is great guys out there, man. Go check out the Yalla Laughs Facebook page. Hit up my man Eric. Oh, his class. So it's kind of on the top of the World Trade Center out there. It's right at the top, you can see the whole city.
Oh wow,
it's stunning, man. It's just a wee stage, and it's kind of international comedians, expats, but also really mixed. You get a lot of Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, Filipinos. Not that many Arabs. Very few Arabs there, because it's a bar that it's in. So they tend not to kind of come out. But all the family came to see me and stuff, and
that's cool.
It was really nice, man. It was really
and did they get decent crowds, good audiences?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Yeah, I'd say they fill about a room. It's about, every time I've been there, it's between 40 and 60 people.
Very cool.
And it's pretty good, man. It's a pretty good night.
That's good.
It was interesting seeing material that you thought would only maybe work in, Glasgow or Scotland. Yeah. Landing with an international audience and being racism is universal, man. We're fine. The people are happy here. The Arabs get slagged everywhere. So it was really cool, man. It was a really cool experience.
Wow. And so, how much? Your dad's obviously got a family out there now. how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Fucking hunters, mate.
Hunters.
Hunters. I've got my eldest brother Nayan, my sisters. Well, I say like all their names. No, I won't. I've got my biggest brother. Fuck it. Let me start that again. Cut that. Yes.
Yeah.
Man. So I've got my younger brother, 3 sisters, then another younger brother, and then a new baby that's just been had, man. So there's 7 A's.
7 of you.
Yeah. One of my brothers has got the same name as me, which I thought was like maybe an Arab thing.
Yeah.
Arabs like, call their sons the same name. It's
Sure.
no, man. It is
Just a
absolutely
coincidence.
Just my dad's a mad cunt. And he was like, I just want to have, because his name's Taryam as well. So he
Right.
was like, Taryam, and then me, and then my wee brother as well.
So your mum named you after your dad.
Aye, pretty much.
That's
And
good.
then-
That was good then.
Yeah, no, it was nice. She liked the name. Well, in retrospect, she says I thought it was just a nice name, but I'm sure at the time it was a lovely gesture.
Yes.
It's a hard name, man, because it's pronounced differently. So
Yeah.
my ma will call me Taryam, and they've called me Taryam my whole life.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Abu Dhabi, I found out it's like pronounced like Taryam. So
Taryam.
like I don't know what my name is. Like I genuinely don't. I don't have a name. Like
Yeah.
so I go with T, man. We just keep it easy down the middle. But you look like a wank to people if you're like that. What's your name? You're like, oh, T. Like, really? I'm like,
Yeah.
Taryam.
Very good.
Mm.
That's really cool. I'm actually the eldest of 7 as well.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm for a big family.
That's good, man.
So
how
I
you
like-
finding it?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm a lot older than you, but yeah, my youngest brother, I was 17 when he was born. So I was at
Yeah,
working,
that's a
you
bit-
know, it's a
that's
huge, probably a similar,
a similar jump.
you know.
And I just gave a family as well. Like I'd never had a sister, and then
Yeah.
both there's 3.
Yeah.
Like, mental. Like sisters are, love them. Like
Yeah.
I love them, but like I don't know if anybody can make you feel rage like your wee sisters can, man. Like it's such a unique anger as well, because they're only 10, and any 10-year-old I met, I'd be like, there, because it's your sisters, I don't know, there's something where they can like
Yeah.
tap in. Like my wee sister, I said to her, I'm like, oh, do you want an apple? She was like, no, I don't like fruit. And I was like, what kind of fruit? And she was like, any fruit. And I was like, there's so many kinds of fruit. Like I just felt like a rage come through me. I was like, what's pineapple or not? Anyway, man, love them. Love your sister.
Taryam's the fruit police.
I love fruit, man. That's what I was known for when I was younger. I was a wee fat guy, but I would always have fruit when I went out. with them.
Yeah.
And that became like my thing. And then over the years I dropped it, man. I wish I'd have kept it on. And still love bananas, man. Still my favourite food. So
Well, and you done that. Now it was a little while back, because I've followed you on social media. You've switched over to living a vegan lifestyle for about a month or for a little while.
I did, man. So
You saw some benefits from that as
It was
well.
amazing, man. I loved being vegan. I loved it, man.
Yeah.
My body was in great shape. I'd had really bad eczema in my entire
Sure,
life.
yeah.
Like really bad. Went vegan, all my eczema disappeared, man. So like
Fantastic.
a lifelong problem was just
Sure.
gone. Turned out I was allergic to dairy, which I didn't know.
Right.
I'm still gutted that I can't really have pizza because vegan cheese hasn't made it
No.
to the point yet, man. Some
No.
vegan stuff is like a lot of
Sure.
vegan scran is great, but I heard somebody say like you never need to try to be a vegetarian or try to be a vegan. They're like, eat what you want to eat because you're going to want to eat it, and then
Yeah.
maybe one day when you take a chicken burger and you put it in your mouth and it makes you feel disgusting, and all you can think
Whatever,
about
yeah.
is the flesh and the sinew, and it feels so bogging that you're actually
Sure.
not able to eat it.
Yeah.
Then go vegetarian. But until then, bake and roll, man.
Yeah.
Like when you're ready, you're ready. If you know, you know.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
and being vegan's great. Hundreds of benefits.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready for it, man. We'll walk my way up.
I'm probably even further away from you. So
Man, he has.
I had Declan McGuigan was on the podcast as well, and he went vegan for a little while, but he's vegetarian. We had a vegetarian curry after we'd done the podcast.
How was it?
Well, he had it. I didn't.
You got
I was like, you have that mixed grill.
yeah, man. I went to Weatherspoons this morning and got a
Right.
large breakfast, and
Right.
lovely, man. And it was the first breakfast I'd had in about a year where there wasn't a guilt in it.
Right.
Whereas, like,
Sure.
Like, because I'd be eating meat and I'd be like, oh, shouldn't really be eating this. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll go vegan tomorrow. But this, I was just like, enjoy the sausage, man.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the
Well,
sausage.
yeah, like you said, if you want to do it, you do it, and if you don't want to do it, that's just what it is.
Absolutely.
So,
man.
I've certainly cut back on the amount of red meat I
Mhm.
maybe eat. And I'm certainly trying to eat more fish. No, not that probably helps the
Yeah.
animal welfare
No,
side. then.
man. See,
But-
I was never really interested in the animals, man. I
No.
want to be. I've always said this, man. If I had the opportunity, I would punch a cow just one time, just to see what it. Man, just right up to the side. Oh, Jack, hilarious, man. I won't. I never
No,
would.
you'll never do
I
it.
never ever would. But if somebody was like,
Yeah.
right, here's a sealed room.
I'm worried for my ram now. Didn't he hit that because that's solid. You'll break your hand.
I wouldn't, man. But if somebody was like, here's a sealed room, no cameras, there's a cow in there, go in, whatever happens. I'd come out shaking my horn. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. However, save the animals, don't kill.
Yeah,
kill them
yeah, exactly. I had a friend that used to say the same thing. He would joke about, obviously he was joking about it. Nowadays people will probably freak out, but he used to joke about it. He was just like, have you ever just wanted to go and just kick a penguin over? Just like, because it's waddling about and just
watch it tip.
Just watch it tip over.
Amazing. Have you ever heard about the penguin erector?
The penguin erector? No, never heard about this.
I don't know if this is shite or no, but I've been telling people it for years. Right,
okay.
So there's a job in Edinburgh Zoo, and this feels like one of the made up things that people tell you.
Sure.
Like the guy on the underground with the dug in the suitcase and all that, but I'm sticking by it. Let's put it straight.
Right, okay.
Google it. Penguin erector is a job in Edinburgh Zoo. Now, because Edinburgh Zoo is in a flight path, what happens is the penguins watch the planes go overhead. So they'll like watch them, and then they'll tip air like that.
Yeah.
And the penguin erector's job is to come in and put
Prop
the
them
penguins
back up
back
again.
up. Sounds made up, doesn't it? But I choose to live in a world where I believe that's a
Well,
real
it'd be
joke.
easy to prove. You just go there and wait till a plane's flying over and see what happens.
I'm kind of gutted in case nothing happens, so I will just leave it.
Leave it as a thing you enjoy.
Right into the podcast if you know any penguin erectors. So we'll settle this once and for all.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably the complete opposite because I also lived in America for about 6 years, and I went hunting there and everything.
How was that?
It wasn't a big deal. Where I was staying,
Yeah.
everybody was doing that. And initially, there was a part of me that was like, hunting. I had never handled a gun before. I had went to a shooting range. And it was kind of cool, shooting a gun. It was fun and stuff like that. And especially in America, they're totally bonkers. I got to shoot a Kalashnikov and all sorts of stuff. They're just mental.
It's good living.
But they said to me, "Do you want to go hunting?" And I said, "Well, I've never hunted before." But I thought, well, I'm for to see what it's like living here. Went out and we got a deer and we got an elk.
Oh,
and
big,
massive. An elk is like 800 pounds. It's like just this massive beast.
That is. That is.
It's huge.
7 me's. No, 6 me's. That's 6 me's.
6 U's.
Yeah.
So,
did you carry
and
it back?
a lot more eating. Well, it had to be prepared. Well, not prepared, but butchered. No butchered, but it's cut a certain way.
And they hang
and then it was
stuff.
Well, we had to pack it and take it out.
What?
So you had to backpack it out.
Man.
Because where you went hunting, you had to trek for we only trekked for about 2 days to find, because somebody had already went ahead and trekked it and found it. So we then just kind of caught up where they were.
It sounds quite interesting.
It was really cool. And I took all the meat, and the guy then showed me how to skin it, and he butchered it all and had huge amounts of meat. And
I don't know if I could do it, man.
We lived on the meat for about 5-6 months.
Tasty.
It was amazing.
What can you?
It was so good.
Can't go
so
wrong
good.
with that, man.
So
I heard Joe Rogan make a good point for that, man. And
Yeah.
I don't like Joe Rogan, man. Somebody pointed out to me that he's a sulky bitch. And now every time I listen to his podcast, I'm like, yeah, that's right, Joe. I'm coming for you, mate. It's fucking, he'll say nothing, man. But it was, he was saying that, like if you go out and you shoot a deer, like, mate, you better, and then he shoots it again, that's a deed. But that's like, if you don't shoot it, it's not like it's going to live into old age and settle down and get a nice deer. It's going to get like ripped apart by a bear or something, which is much worse than getting shot in the head.
probably much worse, but anyway, yeah. So I'm probably pretty far away from being a vegan at this stage, but yeah, everybody's at different stages of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So you've got the show at the Mango. You said and you said the date. What date was it again?
It's the 21st of March.
And what time?
10 p.m. Late night show, man.
Okay,
Late night.
it's still a good spot.
No, it was
10
good.
PM
We done
's a
it.
good
We done
spot,
it last year. Me and Raheel, we managed to sell it.
Okay, yeah.
Muslim.
Yeah.
It was really good. Really lovely show. Watched it back recently, man. Quite difficult watching comedy for a year ago.
Yeah.
Painful almost, man,
yeah,
to see, but good. So I'm excited to kind of see the two side by side and see the difference.
And this is you're doing a solo show this time.
Doing a solo show, man.
Right.
It was starting off as like, I'll do an hour, and then it became 45, and I'm like, maybe 40, maybe 40. But I'm thinking the story should be able to be there. And then I was going to have a lovely slideshow that collected all the pictures of like my granddad in his youth and my mom and me growing up and all that. And I mentioned it to like, it was Connor Burns, mate, call him out. And he's like, oh, what are you, a slideshow comedian now? And it's in my head, I'm like, you know what, I'm, mate.
It's messed up.
It is, man. He's got me para. But no, fuck you, Connor, mate. It's going to be a great slideshow. It's going to have animations and that in it. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Well,
and then hopefully if that goes well, take it to the Fringe this year and get my first Fringe done.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I've nearly done it last year, but I kind of half.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go for it this year, man. And
excellent.
Just get it out of the way. So, yeah.
Yeah, we were... I had this discussion on the podcast with a few comedians now, and they were talking about the festival and timing. And it was something that Gareth Much actually said, and you might have heard it if you'd listened to the podcast. He said about Amy Matthews done 30 minutes.
30 minutes, and that
just
was like
destroyed the room.
The ideal amount of time.
And it was just a perfect amount of time, you know. And I think that kind of the feeling I'm getting when I'm speaking to people is that there's a lot of people, if I went in and saw half an hour of comedy, I might not be able to judge if it was half an hour or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, I would probably know it's not an hour.
Yeah.
But 30, 40 minutes.
And
if you're destroying the room in that time, they're walking away thinking, oh, that was brilliant.
That was class.
They've no walked away and went, yeah, the last 20 minutes they'll just drag.
Yeah, and you can go see something else. Like
exactly.
you can go see another show. I went to the Fringe and I watched the guy and he had like this character thing that he was doing and it was an hour long. And at one point he whipped out a fake willy and he made the fake willy sing Free Nelson Mandela into a microphone.
Okay.
It was insane. It did not need to be an hour. It really did not. Like by 20 minutes, we were all like,
yeah,
and it was really rough. No, it was the guy was fine. It's just the way it didn't have. There was nothing. There was no reason for us to be in that room for an hour. If it was half an hour, even at the 15-minute mark, at least you'd know. But I think half an hour is good, especially for me, like dripping with ADHD. If I'm in somewhere for an hour and there's like, obviously if the show's amazing, you're in it. But even if the show starts to lag a bit, then it's difficult, man. It's difficult to keep the attention there. You start looking at the walls and seeing what's going on, and it's just, I think half an hour to like 45 minutes. I wouldn't want to do anything more than that.
Well, the Netflix released a wee bit of information. They didn't release very much about their data, but they did release. It was the comic Bert Kreischer mentioned it. He said that the average watch time on a stand-up special now on Netflix is on the first time they watch it anyway. It's about 26 and a half minutes or something. So they'll watch. So if you put on a stand-up, they'll watch 26 minutes and probably pause it,
and then go do something else,
and go and do something else,
and then come back
or whatever. They didn't say how many. They didn't give the data of how many people returned and finished watching it. They just said, the average. That was the only data they would give.
Yeah.
The average is 26 minutes. So
because attention spans are gone.
Attention spans are a wee bit different. But Bert Kreischer also said was, he now, instead of having his like best great joke at the end, he just puts it right at the start now.
I heard that's what Louis C.K. did before all the heights in. He would just keep mixing up. One of the things that I've been trying recently, man, because I was like, I've always had a very meticulous like set plan, like just for anxiety reasons. I'm like, right, I do this bit, I do this bit. But I think I need to stop. This is the problem with comedy podcasts. You go, who told me this? Who told me that?
Yeah.
If I say anything that MD said, they can pull me up for it in the comments. But somebody told me like, have your start, have your end, and whatever happens in the middle happens in the middle. And for like 5 and 10 minute sets, I've been doing that, and it's been lovely, man.
Yeah.
Because like usually if I'm doing audience interaction, there's a wee good bit there. In my head, I'm going, you need to get to the next bit. You need to get to the next bit. Yeah. But when you don't know what the next bit is, I've been doing stuff and it's been going on, taking off, and it's still laughter, and it's like much less. This joke needs to get a laugh as opposed to I just need to enjoy this, and I've been much more preferring that.
No,
but
that's
when
cool.
it comes to like the longer, like 30, 45 minute sets, I can imagine that if it's like meticulously planned out, it must be brutal. Like to try and memorize it all and have it all in order and have every line. It seems like
I think that's a good way to do it. I've kind of started doing that myself, trying to just say I'm not gonna. I do generally will have like you said, a rough idea of I've got the jokes in my head, but whether I follow it or maybe use that joke, I've been trying to force myself to change. Even if I know this joke does generally better here, I'm going to switch it anyway,
switch on,
just to get your brain that sort of muscle working that wee bit harder, so that if there's a problem and you have to adapt,
you can flow
you can
with it.
maneuver. Whereas you go, oh wait, what happened there?
Where am I?
Oh, now I'm stuck in this bit. How do I maneuver? And if you're, I'm only been just over a year doing comedy, so
I think I'm
my experience,
just reaching 2 years, man, which
Yeah.
is
So
nothing.
it's nothing, yeah, exactly. My experience level of, so initially when I first started doing it, if somebody even slightly heckled me, or I remember first time I did something and I did a joke, and normally it got a laugh, and I remember this one time it just didn't get a laugh.
It's painful.
And I just sort of went, oh, would it? My brain was like, no, we get a laugh here before we start the next bit.
Yeah.
And it didn't know how to, it was like I couldn't
The
flick.
flow had been like
It
messed
disrupted,
up.
yeah, exactly.
No, I feel
so I remember I was speaking to Gus Limburn about this, and he had said it is good to do that because your comedy routine sometimes end up like he described it as the sort of block of Jenga. He says, so if you start, he said, well, I'm going to take this joke out, suddenly you're like nervous it's all going to fall apart.
Yeah.
He says, but if you just take your time and work at it, it generally stays up. But he says that's what the Jenga thing you read, like, oh, it'll fall apart if I move that joke or do that.
That's what
He says it doesn't do that. You've got to work at it and then it's okay and you become a better comic.
One of the things I heard recently, somebody was like, it's not the words. They're like, stop worrying about the words. Because every day, like, I think especially in your comics at our level, when people are starting, they're going, I'm going to say that and then I'm going to say that, then I've got this call back here, and they've got a Google Doc with every single word written in it. And somebody was like, it's not the words, it's a transference of energy. You're up on that stage to try and emote the energy of laughter out the people. It doesn't matter how it gets there, as long as you're there. And like, I think that's why people, maybe Pete Holmes was saying it, was like, when you go up on a stage and you go, oh, this is a bit of a dark room, or we're in a basement, or we're in whatever, it just lets the audience know that like you're there, like you're actually there with them. You're like, I'm here, like let's do this together, as opposed to comedians that come on and go, how we doing, and people go, oh, and they go, good, I'll tell you the other day, and you're like, doesn't matter what the audience said there. So I think I'm trying to loosen up a bit more, but if you've gone away for 3 months and coming back, mental, man. It's like I felt like I had to start again. Like when I was showing up to gigs, there was like this weird voice in my head that's like, you've been away for 3 months. Nobody's going to remember you. Nobody's going to care. And then as soon as I went to a gig, people were like, oh, hey, Taryam, how you doing? How you been? And I'm like, oh, good. Like, oh, you in Abu Dhabi? I was like, They were like, all right, cool. That was it. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. For me coming back, I was like, I don't know my jokes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I can do stand up. And and then it sounds so petty, man. But see, before I'd left, there was people who'd done like a couple of gigs, and then they were like, oh, you talk to them and you meet them now and again, and then you come back and they're like, putting all these gigs on the forum, you're seeing everything, and you're like, mate, what happened? Like, people are catching up. So sparks like the fire under your arse. You're like,
exactly.
3 months away felt like a year away, man. So, but it's good because I think I'd been about 2 years flat out. So to take that wee break and go, maybe, I don't know, man, do I want to do comedy? Do I know why I do it? And then coming back and being like, fuck, I need to do it. That's much better. Much prefer that.
Well, now you've got your answer because you're not wondering about it now. You've actually made a decision.
I actually know, man. It feels,
because you took that step away.
But I think that's also one of the things that's happened my entire life. I think it's a symptom of people that have ADHD is that they'll try to do something, they'll not do that well at it, and then like subconsciously beat themselves up for it because they're unable to like complete it. So in my head, I was like, I need to be a comedian in like 2 or 3 years, which is it's not even a real goal. Like, what do you mean be a comedian? Do you mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to achieve it? I didn't have that. I just had this idea like, I need to be a comedian. And because this imaginary goal wasn't reached, there was then like a downfall where I was like, oh, what do I do now? Like, maybe I'm not living up to the potential that I'd set. Maybe I've went too slow. Maybe I went too fast. And it was all shite. It was all absolute, just mind shite. And I think going away to Abu Dhabi and just having that month-long break with nothing to do, journaling, like, fuck, just getting into my head, and I'm like, I enjoy doing this. I like doing comedy. There's no need to set this goal here and do that there. Like, it doesn't need to be so rigid. Just go out and enjoy doing comedy.
And are you still journaling since you've been back?
Love journaling, man. Love it. Especially, there's at the end of the night, like, just even if it's like 5 minutes, just get it all out, man. Get everything you go to. See the sleep that you get after it. It's incredible. Because see, when you're lying in bed going, I wonder if it's You've done that already.
Yeah.
It's all in the book, and it just frees you before you go to bed.
Sure.
A massive piece of advice, man. Just keep a wee journal by your bed, and even if you only do like
Yeah.
one line,
Mhm.
you end up doing about 27, man, and it just gets everything out, and it lets you start fresh the next day, man. It's lovely.
Yeah, my aunt is she's a big journal, and she's been doing it for I don't know, but it's been years now. So she's just got books, stacks of books of journals, you know. I had a guy when I was living in Japan, and he wrote in his journal every day, because I was there for 2 years, and he would have been there for the same time space, and he wrote in it every day, and I think it was maybe like the last, I want to say 6 months, it could have been 4 months, but it was something like that, 6 or 4 months. He just stopped. Just went, I'm not doing it.
Wow.
He just stopped. The only thing I could think of is somebody told me was that while he was in Japan, he had a girlfriend, so he was writing to her and stuff, and I think he might have got dumped, and it just kind of floored him a wee bit.
Didn't want to write about how sad it was.
He didn't want to write it, so he just closed the book.
That's the best thing to write, man. That would have been very helpful.
That's what I said. That's when people write songs and poetry and everything. But
he's just like,
I'm done. You just chucked it to the side.
Done, man. I've been journaling for years, man. So I've got like old journals. And one of the most interesting things for me is like in like all my old journals, it's like something's wrong. What's wrong? There's something wrong. What it turned out to be was undiagnosed ADHD.
Sure.
But I didn't know at the time. So I just had this overall feeling of something in my life was wrong, but it's like, do I need a better job? Do I need a bird? Do I need to get a motor? Like, I was like, all these things are like, something will solve it. Turns out it was speed was what I needed, man. Just wee capsules of speed solved my life, man.
Yeah.
It's made life.
So you got on medication now for your ADHD.
Man, yeah, it's honestly just like it's a wee bit.
Basically
it's a wee bit of speed,
yeah.
But it's slow. So what people with ADHD don't have as much like connection between the two parts of the brain.
Sure.
So that's why like if I go like, I better remember to text Jason. By the time that gets to the back, that's gone. I was like, remember to buy a sheep. What was I talking about, man? And then I'll never remember.
Sure.
When you take like stimulants, it stimulates the brain and helps the connections form between them. So it means you can remember stuff, you can get stuff done. It takes away binge eating, which was a massive problem for me. I didn't know. I thought I just loved scran. Nah, man, it was just like I'd eat and I'd be full, but my brain would be like, you want chocolate? And I'd be like, I'd love some chocolate. And even though I was nearly sick of eating, I'd be like, well, this chocolate's going to be great. Take the speeds. Yeah. You're gone, mate.
I should maybe get diagnosed because I could eat all day long.
Yeah, man.
I just never stop.
Man,
so
I've got like a superpower, man, for like diagnosing Wayne's with ADHD.
Right.
So like when Wayne's like, oh, he's a greedy bastard. Some of them are, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I can see some Waynes and like the way they act and their behaviour and the way they're surprised when they're like misbehaving. So they'll do something and they'll be messing about or whatever, and they'll all be like, stop that. And you see them being like, fuck, was I doing something wrong?
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling because I had that my whole life. So I've got like a sixth sense for being like, your Wayne's got ADHD, but a lot of people like, no, they don't. Okay, cool, no worries.
Yeah, no, I think there's, I've got dyslexia, and I wasn't diagnosed until, well, I was actually diagnosed. They didn't call it dyslexia when I was about 6 years old, and nobody knew what dyslexia was in the 80s.
Yeah,
and my mum and dad, remember the school had said, oh, we think there's something going on with Jason. He's maybe concentrating, or he's getting things mixed up and things like that. And it was actually the really old Mrs. Tate. She's probably dead by now.
R.I.P.
But she was this old, like really almost Victorian style headmistress. And it was her that said, she obviously kept up to date with what was going on. And she says, I believe this thing, and it's some sort of reading and writing disorder. And she says, I've spoke to the Dundee University, and they have students and people that are dealing with it. I've made an appointment for Jason. So I went there, and they done a whole pile of tests and bits and pieces. And what they said is, he has some sort of a learning disorder. And Mum's like, what, like a learning, learning difficulties, or what's, she wasn't too sure because, it
was all new information at the time.
Yeah, these different terms and stuff like that. And they were like, no, he has problems when he reads and he's writing. It's not, he's actually even got a disability. well, it is to a certain degree, but it's not
But
like
it's no like.
it's not as it's different. It's not what you're thinking. Because Mum's like, oh, is he going to have to go to a special school now? And they're like, no, he'll be able to go to a regular school, but he's going to have to get help with this and this. And
so you were like the trendsetter for dyslexia, man.
Well,
you were
in
like
my
the early
school,
adopter.
yeah, there was nobody there, and but then I went to the school. And somewhere along the line, they just sort of dropped the ball. Like nobody took it up. Like I think they just thought, nah, we'll just keep going. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because the headmistress left. She retired.
Right.
And I think it just wasn't carried over. And my parents just didn't understand it at the time. They were just like, well, the school's dealing with it.
Especially if it's just it. If
yeah.
It's like newly
They're
released.
like, well, the school said they were going to deal with it, so they must be dealing with it. And they just thought I was a sort of, happy-go-lucky kid that just go on with it. But there was one teacher, I'll give him a shout, Mr. Christensen, primary 6. He got these special books in. Now, again, he must have been one of these teachers that thought, this is no right.
Up to date here.
And he got up to date, and he got these special books, and he held them up in front of the whole class. And I always remember him doing this. And at the time, I never thought anything of it. But now I know. I'm like, that guy was absolutely amazing. He held these 3 books up, and they were like these sort of sci-fi, almost that Star Trek style kind of books, but they looked really interesting. And I was like, wow, they look really cool. And he said, this company wants us to test these books.
Right.
And I'm going to need one student to test them. Now, everybody's hands went up. And obviously my hand's going up as well. But there was a part of me, it's like, I won't get picked to do this.
Yeah, I'm no the
I can
book
barely
boy.
read what I'm reading and write. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to choose Jason. And honestly, the whole class is like, why would you choose him? Like they knew it. And I was going, yeah, why are you choosing me? What's going on here? And he took me out. He took me outside the classroom. And I'm thinking, what's going on? He's like, now this is going to be your desk. And you're going to do this work in the corridor here. And he obviously had learned this. He needs maybe a little bit more extra quiet time. He needs a wee bit, whatever it was, because everything was set up. And I had no idea. He just kept saying it was this company.
But he sold it as like...
He sold it as it wasn't something wrong with me.
Wow, man.
And I'm like, this guy's... Oh, to this day, I just go, this guy's amazing. And I remember burning through these books and doing so well with them.
I could make you great, man.
You know, I was like, this is amazing, you know.
That is a pure kindness.
It's just a really good guy.
That is amazing.
And then
Mr.
I left.
Christensen, what
yeah, he was a great guy. And I remember I left school. I went to high school, and most of my time in high school, I just wanted to play football. And again, I didn't like school. Just because it wasn't working for me, obviously.
I was a crammer, man. I crammed, so I didn't study, didn't read any of the books in English. Couldn't sit down to read them. And then the night before the exam, I went on to sparknotes.com.
Right.
Memorized an essay and wrote it in, because that's one of the benefits of ADHD is hyperfocus.
Yeah,
so you can't focus for any time, and then when the pressure's on, you're like, I've still not read a view for a bridge, man, but I done an English essay on it, get an A. So I was
you got the A, that's all it counts.
So I was in disguise as like a bad learner. Everybody was like, you've done great, but it was just wee bursts of learning, man. So it's like, but I get kicked out of college, man. I get kicked out of drama college because I couldn't learn my lines. And at the time, everybody just thought I was at this bottle, man. Hold on. Every time I go to drink, man, I get involved in a story. All right. I was an actor. That's how I started.
You started.
Yeah. So I started acting when I was 13. I was in River City for a couple of years, and then I get like the whole family that I was in got wrote out. But for me, that was absolutely brutal, because I'd left school and went straight on to working in River City.
Right.
And at the time, I was like, we've done it, boys. I'm leaving high school, gone straight onto the telly. We've smashed it. I got 3 months of work, and then we got wrote out the show.
Oh, no.
And then everybody else had their college and their apprenticeships and their work experience, and I'd flexed on them all. I've got that BBC money, boys. Like, I don't need to worry about it.
Exactly.
And then I was just lost for years, man. So I ended up going back to drama college, where I met some of the best pals I've got. Yeah, I've still got them to this day, man. And
that's
like,
cool.
As we were all doing a show, and I'd get like the second lead role in the show. Lord of the Flies, I was playing Jack. It was great.
Yeah.
But I couldn't sit down to learn my lines.
Right.
And one day I remember the director, it was like a teacher, lovely guy, man, absolutely sound guy called Fran, but he bollocked me in front of the full class, man. Like, we were all sitting in the theatre, and I was in the middle, and he just went through me. He was like, the show's in 2 days. If you have no learned your lines, you need to get your fucking act together.
Yeah.
And I couldn't disagree with him. I had to sit and take it. Like,
Yeah.
no, he's right. And
Sure.
it wasn't until years later that, like, I'd found out that it was because of the ADHD, man. Which
Sure.
a lot of people were like, is that an excuse? And I'm like, no, it's a reason. Because I was dying to do good in it.
Yeah.
I was dying to do good in the show,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And now when I take my pills, can get anything done. Scripts memorised, shit wrote down, organised,
Good
Google
for you, mate.
Calendar. Oh, that's good.
Good for you. So when did you get diagnosed?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, so so last year.
So just basically at the start of doing kind of beginning your comedy.
2019.
Right.
So it was I just started comedy in February. Done like 8 months of comedy. Had the shop that I worked in. I had like calendars ordering about me.
Right.
And I had notes on everything. So when I was sitting in work, it was there. If I had a gig, I was looking at it 70
Right.
times a day, so I knew it was going
So
in.
you never forget.
So I was pretty alright with making it to gigs on time and getting organised.
Sure, yeah.
And then it was when I got diagnosed in 2019, just everything changed, man. Entire life changed for the better. Like, absolutely for the better. But there's so many underlying things I didn't even know that were solved. Like, people thought, like, I used to leave cupboards open. I'd go into the cupboard, take out a pot noodle, just walk away, leave the cupboard open. And I was like, that's just me. That's just what I'm like. That's just tea.
Yeah.
But it
yeah.
wasn't, man. I was just autistic. And then I took the pills. All the cupboards are shut, man. So fucking...
Well, they're good.
Yeah.
Your pills are shut.
Jamming, man. Can't recommend speed enough, man. It is ideal. But doctors fucked up. I've not had them in 4 days, man. So
right. Your prescription light's not been ready or
no,
something?
so I've had 2 fry-ups a day, man. Just because there's no sense of hunger. I'm just like, give me a cigarette.
Oh, no.
I know. We'll have a sandwich.
I had a similar thing that, because it wasn't on later on, I went to Dundee University for about a year, and I went there and I says, look, I'm going to be coming to the university, but I do think I was maybe got dyslexia or something. Something's not right. He says, we'll put you through all the tests, and they were really nice and really good. And they put me through it all. And they put me through this sort of a regular, maybe like an introductional type thing, and then says, actually, we're going to refer you to the specialist, but she's going to come from Aberdeen.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. So set this appointment up. She came down, done this thing with her, and she had said to me, she says, quite perplexed here, she says, because we've done a sort of general knowledge quiz, and she said, you answered pretty much 99% of all the questions very, very, quite well. But your writing, your reading, your maths, like everything's all over the place.
Yeah.
But clearly your knowledge, your learning has not been, it's been affected in tons of areas, but you've managed to still learn a lot. And so she came back, we had another meeting about like a week later or that. And so her diagnosis for me was, she said it's one of the rarer dyslexias.
There's different kinds?
It's different types, yeah.
Shit.
So some people are just dyslexic with reading, but they're excellent with numbers.
Okay.
So it's no just, if it's reading for everything. Sometimes it's just for
like
numbers.
certain wee things. What's yours? What's the special dyslexia?
I have dyslexic hearing.
So you hear wrong?
I don't hear everything clearly. Like it's not a hearing of
your ear takes it in, but your brain doesn't.
Brain's not processing it. So
Wow.
basically, she kind of gave me this. She says, "Look, it's a very new thing, but this is what we're discovering is some people might have dyslexic reading. There's some, like my cousin has dyslexic reading, but if he actually has see-through like red paper on the letters, stops them from moving." So they've got this technique to put a bit of red paper, see-through paper. So he's got glasses that were red tinted.
Wow, like Cyclops for the X-Men.
Yeah, and he's just like, okay. And he just reads them. And it's now fixed that for him.
That's mental, man.
So there's all these different things. But she had said to me, basically, she said, look, it might be for instance, somebody might say to you, can you go to the kitchen and could you get an apple and orange and could you bring through a knife or something like that. Or could you bring through an apple, cheese, and and a board for it or something?
Did you say apple, cheese, and a cheetah?
No. An apple, cheese, and a board.
Got it.
I think I went to say cheese board and I ended up just saying board and I got mixed up. But basically what would happen is, the way my brain would work is, I'll be like, apple, 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 apple. They go through, get the apple, and half my brain, I'll open the fridge and go, was it cheese?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was cheese, but and then I start to doubt. And I've got a 50-50 chance I'm going to go, no, it wasn't a cheese.
No. You're like...
or a 50-50, I go, no, I'm going to go with cheese. And they'll come through and go, there you go. And she go, but where's the board?
apple and the cheetah?
Where's the dishcloth that I asked you to bring or whatever it is? And I'll go, you never asked for that.
Didn't hear it.
And I could probably take a lie detector test and pass it saying, you never said that.
You believe it.
Here's the weird thing. 2 weeks later or an hour later, it doesn't matter what it is, I could be sitting watching TV and suddenly, bang, I'll go, I should have got that board.
Wow.
It's freaky.
You're a time traveller, man. You got a time travelling
It's
eel.
weird. So, and when I remember coming home and when I told my mum and dad this, they were like, that makes perfect sense.
Aye.
Because like you, the cupboards, people are like, why is he leaving cupboards open? You're just like, oh, that's just what I do.
Yeah.
Like, you just accepted it.
Yeah.
There's just parts of me, I'm like, I never do that. So now I'll try and use little techniques. So I'll be like, right, apple, cheese, and I'll try and attach it to things. Like when they tell me, I'm like, apple. Generally, if it's the first one, I'm like, okay, find me the first one, the apple, cheese. And I'll try and put, cheese board, that might go together and that'll help.
Cheese and
but if
board.
it's cheese in a dishcloth, I'm like, I'll have to then go, imagine, I'll try and put a picture together.
Like
cheese wrapped in a dishcloth,
and
I'll come through with it.
It's not bad.
So I'll try and do wee techniques for it all. But basically what they've said is from a kid, I've had this sort of dyslexic hearing. So when the teacher's like, okay, this is how you do this, this, and this, I'm getting the first one right. The second one that's 50-50, I'm getting it right. And the third one, I'm going, I'm finished all this early. That's really easy. And there's a whole section I've just forgot about.
It's just that's amazing, man.
And as it's got worse, then frustration and all these other things kicking, and you just go, I started rejecting school. I'm like, I don't like this because obviously it's no hard. Because I'm not getting the techniques to deal with it.
That was one of the things that you were saying about like your parents being like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It was me getting diagnosed was massive for my mom because my mom had OCD. So like we moved out and we moved into a house when she was like 16 years old. So she was a 16-year-old running the house, all bills, had a motor, was doing everything herself. Yeah. And then when I was growing up, she was like, why can you not keep a pair of keys on you for more than a week? And I'm like, I don't know. So she couldn't understand how she'd been so organised in entire life, but her son was like
disorganised.
Where have my trousers gone? She's like, we're on the bus. What do you mean? I'm like, I don't know where to put them. But so like for that, it was like a big relief for her. She was like, oh, and it looks like my wee brother's got ADHD as well, man. So it's he's not. It takes so long for Wayne's to get diagnosed.
How long did it take you to get from the time you went to see the doctor to getting diagnosed?
What's mental is that if anybody listening to this has gone for an ADHD diagnosis, the doctor's going to go in, you're going to go in and the doctor's going to tell you you've no got ADHD. Right. And the reason that I know that that's true is that I've like been in contact with maybe like 30 or 40 people who have all been getting diagnosed since I got diagnosed last year. Every single time they people go to the doctors, they're told they don't have ADHD. They're told there's no ADHD, it's depression, or it's something else, or maybe they should try this meditation app. They always get papped off. But what you need to do is you just need to keep going. You need to make some shit up, man. You need to be like, I'm acting out sexually. I'm having blackouts when I drink. The other day I woke up and I ditched in Rutherglen. I don't know if I'm safe. And then the doctor needs to go, all right, well, we'll give you a test. But that's the only way to actually make them do it. And even then, like, they can still be like, nah, you just don't have it. But once you get through to the mental health people, the actual people that specialise in ADHD, they know within minutes, man. I've got a great doctor. Can I name him or her?
No, don't worry about it.
There you go. But as soon as I went to see them, they sat me down. They're like, I've got ADHD. This is the type you've got. You've got hyperactive and inattentive. There you go. But all the way up, the doctor, the guy had been referred to, and the guy before it were like, you don't have it, you don't have it, you don't have it. So you really need to push for it, man, and like fight to get it. But see, once you get it, worth it. And all the people that I'm still in contact with, don't get me wrong, there's some people that are still having a tough time, but I'd say like majority of people that I've seen get diagnosed have got like
they're doing
so
great.
much better, man.
Oh, that's good.
It's a creative thing as well, like because the brain flies about so much. I know that I'm funnier when I don't take my ADHD medication. Right. Because say you say something and I'm thinking a response, I can think of 5 responses quicker and pick out the funniest one as opposed to if I'm medicated and more chilled out, I'll maybe think of 1 or 2. So the brain fires about me, picks out funnier stuff. Like I like MCing when I'm not on pills. Yeah. Because on pills, when I'm not on my medication, because when you're talking to the audience, stuff comes to you quicker. Yeah. But it never comes for me. It's for like a distant thing. It just flies through like that.
So you're not been on for 4 days, so it's like probably this podcast will come out too late, unfortunately. But get down and see Taryam about when he's not on his pills.
Absolutely, man.
He'll probably put it on his social media. I'm not on pills right now, so it's the best time
to see me, man. Get a laugh out of it, man. I don't know if I'm going to make it there on time, but it's going to be a good laugh, man.
Good. Now, you done a a social media video about getting diagnosed as well, which ended up the BBC News and that picked up as well.
BBC shared the shit out of it, which was lovely.
Which is
and
great.
That's how I got in touch with so many people, man, because they were just direct messaging me like that. I think I've got ADHD with the idea.
Yeah.
So for the next like 6 months, just telling everybody, like, here's what you do. Take some online symptom checkers, see if you've got it. Go to your GP.
Sure.
Get told you've no got it. Tell your GP you really do have it. They'll say, no, you don't. Go back, get diagnosed, get the test, get on medication.
Yeah.
And most of the people followed that, and like it changed their lives, man.
Well, at least you'll get a diagnosis, whether you've got it or you've not got it.
Yeah.
At least they might say, well, you've not got this, but you have that.
You'll know.
Or whatever it is. So, yeah.
I don't know if she'll see this, man, but I'm pretty sure my bud's got it, man. But I keep trying to say to her, like, she's like, oh, you try to push your ADHD on every day, but I'm like 90% sure, man. I see her eyes, I see her like that way about, but don't have to tell her. She'll never watch this, man. We'll be fine.
Did you now you filmed that? It looked like did you film that in your attic or
Filmed
something?
that in my grand's attic, man.
Right, okay. Was there any particular reason for that? Just a unique
lovely
with all
wee view there, innit? I had the AirPods in because I couldn't afford the microphone at the time,
Right,
so
right.
the AirPods were the best I could get. I done a video in my grand's. I was living with my gran for a couple
Sure.
of years there, man, and I was like, the attic was the best spot I could do it. But I done a video on religion once in the attic.
Right.
And I was up there for about 40 minutes talking about God and faith and all this. And
Sure.
the wee hatch was open, and I came downstairs, and they two were like, "You've ruined Pointless. Like, there's no point in us watching Pointless. All we can do is hear you preaching." And then they made some old Glasgow reference. They're like, "You're like Tam the preacher," or whatever they said. And I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. But so we stopped doing the videos in the attic, man, and found new locations for them.
Yeah. Now, how many? That was with was that BBC Social?
BBC Social, man.
Yeah. So, and you've done a couple with them now.
I'm on,
How many have you done?
I've done about 12 videos for the Social.
Fantastic.
A couple of collabs with other people as well.
Yeah.
I got to interview Raymond Mearns for the Social, which
That's
was
right.
really nice, man. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the interview.
Yeah.
It was.
He's a great guy.
He
He was my first podcast here. That's the
everybody
first
said to tune into the Raymond Mearns one. I was
Yeah.
like, when I was on the way here, but there was no signal on the train. Brutal.
That's all right.
But he's wise, man. He's wise.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said it was like who said he was a fountain of pish?
He's a
No.
he's a sage.
He's a sage.
He's just got this great knowledge about comedy,
About
whatever
everything.
it is.
He's
He's a real good guy.
Anything, they'll go. Well, and then he's on it, man.
That's exactly right.
I really enjoyed that. So I've had all these opportunities for the Social, man. Me and Mary-Elaine Robertson got to go up to a big like mansion, and we got to stay for 2 days and play all these games with Swedish and Dutch people, man.
Oh, that's cool.
It was amazing, man. It was absolutely great, and that all came from working with the Social and just kind of building it up. One of the kind of things is it's like I've forgot whatever that point that I was about to make was there. So moving on.
That's okay. But that's good. And do you think by doing stand-up comedy, do you think you would still like to do more of these type of videos? I mean, you obviously are on social media. When you were in here, you were doing stuff already.
It's good for me to have something that can be done in a short period of time.
Right.
So I've got an idea for a video, write it, send it out, email back, shoot it, edit it, get it done.
Yeah.
It's away. I've been doing that before I was doing it for the BBC. I would do it when I was
Right.
14, just make a video, just
Sure.
to get an idea.
Yeah.
I've been doing that since I was like
Yeah.
14, man. Just like have an idea, get a video out, get it done quickly. Comedy, obviously, you do a joke, then you need to rework it, and then you need to go do it again.
Sure,
but
yeah, it's a longer process.
this is why I struggled with acting, because see, actors in between acting, they're just basically
Sitting
walking about
yeah.
going, oh, I'm an actor. Do you know I'm
Yeah.
an actor? Let's talk about acting. Actor chat is the worst. Man.
Yeah.
Young comedy chat's bad, but at least all comedians are like wallowing in shit together. So we're all like, this
Yeah.
is brutal existence. Let's talk about it to strangers.
Yeah.
Actors, it's like you're all in the shit, but some of yous get plucked up now and again to get a wee role here and a wee
Yeah.
role there, and everybody goes, oh, well, actually, I was down in London, and don't you know, they run a theatre company, and I was just, I hated it because coming up and growing up in a scheme, if people are talking shit or being a dick, you're like, mate, what
Yeah.
are you being a dick for?
Yeah.
But with actors, you had to go, oh, wow, oh, that's so lovely. Oh, wow, oh, you've got more auditions. Oh, wow, that sounds
That's
fantastic.
exactly what I want to hear right
I
now.
hated it, man. Still hate it. I had to leave, man. So, but that's the whole point in this, man. So I get
Yeah.
sidetracked by how
No,
much
you're
I
fine.
hate actors, man. They're not that bad. With comedy, if you want to do gigs, you can go out and you can do gigs.
Yeah,
You can, however much work you put in is how much work you put out.
Exactly.
With acting, you just sit there and go, oh, I hope this guy in America likes my face for this wee show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still do wee acting gigs here and there, man, but the waiting about was hell for me. So I'm enjoying, comedy, and you can kind of climb up as opposed to just wait and go, what? That's me.
And do you think you would ever return to acting at all? Because obviously, as you become more, even I say famous as a comic, obviously famous comics generally sometimes go and do films and bits and pieces. Do you think? I mean, Raymond Mearns has done stuff as well.
Yeah,
do you think you would still like to do stuff like that?
I think whatever I say the new probably won't be true in a year.
That's probably right. Yeah,
I've accepted that whatever I'm into evolves and changes constantly.
Sure.
So there was a time when I'm like, I'm never going to act again, and then had an audition last week, and I'm like, oh, quite nice getting a script through and that.
Sure.
And then there was a time when I'm like, I'm never doing comedy again, and I'm like, can't wait to try this new stuff. So the new, I would love to find a marriage of the two and do more like comedy acting stuff, because it's a place I'm comfortable in. My problem is that I was hanging about with my pals who are all still working fantastic actors, but they're good actors and they're serious actors, and they can be like, oh, my mother left when I was young, and I was trying to do that, and I was like trying to force out the tears. I was like,
there's no happening.
Wasn't it for me, man? But comedy is my realm. Comedy, I enjoy it. I have fun doing it. So if there was any chance to do any acting comedy work, take it, no bother. But if you want me to I'm not going to say anything, man. You know what? I'll do anything, Jason, man. I will do anything.
That's really cool. And I've seen a lot of your the social stuff, and it's always got great messages or interesting stuff.
Thank you, man.
And things like that. So,
I like the wee sketches. The wee comedy sketches are good. They're funny, but when you're doing the kind of longer stuff, it takes longer to make and that.
Sure.
But it's nice. You get maybe a benefit to it, man.
Have you done it? I know there's the social, and then there's the short stuff. Have you done anything for them?
I've sent a few scripts in, which in retrospect weren't that good. So,
right, okay.
But I think
you have to up your game then.
I absolutely, man. So I think there's a script that I get sent by somebody that's a really good script. So I think I'm going to edit that, send that in. I'm going to take a note to do that because I've no thought about it for about a week, man. So that would be
it's a good thing to do.
Edit, script, shot stuff. Boom. Right. No, for ages I was just sending short stuff, stuff about being brown and being Arab and all that, and it was that was my crutch. I was I'm safe in Browntown, man. As long as I write about being brown, though I can do stuff. Yeah. But it's been so long. I'm probably mind this well, man. Let's maybe branch out.
Branch out and do something else.
But I like writing, man. I really enjoy the learning about the process of how a story is, and how every story is the same story, and I'm fucking right into it, man.
Yeah.
So it's I wrote a script that was all about a young Arab boy going to meet his dad. I don't know where I got it from, man. Just inspired. And I sent it for a BBC writers competition. Right. You get comedy room and drama room. So you write a comedy script or write a drama script, you send it in. And I had good feedback on it. They were like, this is quite good. Edited it, wrote it, and I'm just sitting on it, and it's just kind of sitting there. And I'm like, that's good to have.
And was it a full length? 100 pages.
2 episodes.
All right, so it was more TV.
Yeah, and I got shortlisted, and then they gave me feedback on it. But
excellent.
I've got no intentions to go make a series of it right now. But I know that there's a wee script sitting there, and if anything happens, they're like, "Oh, what's the script?"
Yeah,
it's there. So,
it's material.
Yeah, and I like writing, man. I like writing on the train.
Growing up in Glasgow, then with you're with your mum, single mum. What does she think about you doing comedy?
She's always been very supportive, man. Super supportive. Too supportive, which was that's why I think I've managed to fuck about for so many years, because no matter what I've done, my whole family
she was there.
Well, we'll support you in it. Which was the best, because I've got to a stage in my life now where I'm no in a 9-to-5 job that I hate. Sure. I'm no sitting going, what do I do? Who do I be?
Yeah.
I'm no falling in my dad's I don't know, joinery footsteps. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I had the freedom to explore and stuff. They enjoy it, man.
That's good.
My mom's boyfriend is called Chico. He's he loves coming to the shows, man.
Good.
I need to shout him out as my #1 fan.
Yeah.
So, and the smile that I see on a family member's face when they come to the shows is nice, man. It's really nice. Because I bring them to plays and that, and plays are quite boring, man. So they're sitting there and they're going, "Aye, you've done great, pal," but it's 2.5 hours in the theatre.
Yeah.
But I remember once when I was about 11, We were doing A Christmas Carol, and I was playing Scrooge. And I acted my wee heart out, man. I learned the
Sure.
little, had the accent, doing all that. Done it, man. Walked up, ran up to my man, my dad at the end of it, and I was like, "What did you think?" And my dad was like, "You've left a tag on your shoe." And I looked down, and there was a wee ring of plastic on my shoe, and I was like, "Hi, you're right, Dad. I have."
Yeah, thanks for that.
Cheers. But when they come to the comedy, they're pissing themselves, man.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
it's a fun experience to
Yeah.
bring them into it, as opposed to come watch my play
Yeah.
about, I don't know, Brechty and.
Your mum was in one of your social videos, is that right?
She was. We went on a
Yeah,
Tinder together,
Tinder,
man.
that's right.
Gutting. There's so many rules in the BBC that they had to cut out all the names in the 40s. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
original video that we had on that was so funny. And we had all these lassies were
Yeah.
commenting. There was like a lassie called Piano, and we had like bits and gags, and they had to cut it out. They couldn't even use their first names, man. It was
Yeah, probably.
gutting. The end video was still good, but
Yeah.
it was originally they wanted it to be my gran, but my gran's she's a big Tory, man, so she doesn't want to be, on the internet and show that no Tinder, they spend no time with that. But I need to stop calling my gran a Tory. She's actually a very lovely woman.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
She is. She's just
Yeah.
it's funny to say your gran's a Tory, you know. So I'll keep saying
Yeah.
it. However, she's the best.
Yeah, I was going to say the Tinder thing. You should do the Tinder thing again. Just release it yourself.
I was thinking
Put it on
that,
YouTube.
man. I was
just do
thinking
it
that.
yourself. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's
No, this
you.
is the thing, man. When it comes to making videos and stuff, like
You could change the names.
yeah,
You could change the names.
put the photos, put in fake photos in there.
Put in fake photo, fake date.
I've still
Change
got
it
a
out.
Dropbox somewhere.
Yeah,
But this is the thing, man. If I do it for the BBC, I get paid for it.
yeah.
Lovely,
True.
lovely.
Yeah, it's true. That's
But
what does it.
because I've been doing that for so long, I've not really built a following online. I've
No, no.
doing my own videos, but it's very tempting when you're like, oh, I've got a wee funny video here. Should I put it
Yeah.
up and maybe 50 people will like it, or should I get paid for it? And I've always went for
Yeah.
get paid
Oh
for it, man.
no, definitely.
But
The
I
money
think-
talks.
But I remember starting out and being like, we need to get the socials up, and looking at people
Yeah.
like D and Gary Folds and being like,
Yeah.
need to get where they're getting, and there was always just comedians going, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Just get better on stage.
Just get better.
Just get better on stage.
Exactly.
But I didn't quite believe them. I was like, no, I will get big at the
No.
socials and then. But I think now
There's-
it matters a lot less, man.
Yeah.
And when your comedy catches up, like the socials will catch up.
Oh
and
yeah, definitely.
there's no point in pushing
Definitely.
it if you're not ready.
Exactly. There's a great book that I read just when I was about maybe 5 months into comedy called The Creative Curve.
Oh.
I'll give you it after this. I'll let you know
like
what
to
it
read
is.
man. Fucking
It's
love a wee book on comedy.
Amazing book, absolutely amazing book. This guy wrote it. It was actually another comedian. It was his podcast, Brian Callen. He's got a few Netflix or Amazon comedy specials and that. A big American comedian, and he said the best book I've ever read about not necessarily comedy, but just being artistic and creative is The Creative Curve. And I thought, well, I'll give it a go, and it was just absolutely brilliant book to read. And he basically was just breaking down this, I guess it's a fallacy that he basically said, people think that, somebody has this light, they do have these light bulb moments, but people just think, oh yeah, it just was one day I just thought about this. So if you watch, he says that, and I think he gives links in the book as well, actually, to like a YouTube video of J.K. Rowling. He used that as a case study. And basically she's getting interviewed and they're saying, so how did you come up with Harry Potter? Because obviously Harry Potter's so amazing. And she's like, oh, well, I was sitting on a train and the train was delayed. And I just suddenly started thinking about, the story idea. And I started thinking about Harry. And I thought, oh, Harry Potter, this little kid. He says, and I reached in my bag and I got a lipstick out and I started making notes. And for about 2 hours on the train, she basically started to thingy out Harry Potter.
It's fucking some amount of lipstick.
And
man.
yeah, exactly. And people are obviously thinking, wow, it just came to her and it just, all this sort of thing. And he was like, no, this is how it, and he goes through her entire life of how she got to that point to even start thinking about it.
Oh, the writing that she
And
done
then it
before,
took
or
about
the
5
stories she
years from that point. It took another 5 years before she got the first book out.
It's like people say, like Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky in like 3 days, stayed up for 3 days and wrote it. And it was like, I'll do that, but it's like,
No.
The full thing, get them.
The way the book would describe it says, well, I think the way J.K. Rowling, from what I've read in the book anyway, is she spent all of her days just reading books. She consumed fantasy literature as a child,
just like absorbed
just
it.
constantly,
Let's see if I
all
can
the time.
Readjust.
She, if you look, I don't know how he got this information. Maybe he got it from other interviews that J.K. Rowling done, but basically it was things like university. Her books were always late. And she had tons of books in and out.
Right.
And they were late because she was just sitting rereading them and going over them. And it was Latin, different language, all these different languages, Spanish, French, whatever.
So, like accumulated
just this
into
accumulation
this one,
of
like one moment, but it was like everything funneled into that one
everything
moment.
was being funneled towards her being built to be able to do this, you know. And he says, and that's how it is. So he says you can become creative if you put the work in.
Yeah. On books to read, man, really good one is Zen and the Art of Stand-Up Comedy, which is a book that I read. Just good if you're starting off, man.
Yeah.
Literally wee chapters like what should you eat before a show and how to write material, how to structure a set. Just lovely wee moments in there. Like at the end, like it says, like step away from the mic, give a wee pause so that the audience can appreciate you and you can appreciate them instead of going, thank you, good day, hundred stuff like that. And the other one is similar to the one that you were saying. It's called The War of Art. No, The Art of War. It's a totally different book, but it's called The War of Art, and it's about it's basically about like procrastination and how the things that we procrastinate on are the things that need done the most.
Yeah.
So the thing that you want to do least is your most important thing that you need to do, and there's so many different chapters in there that just cut through. It's like a kid. Like the whole book is like a kick in the arse.
Yeah.
It's gone. You're doing this. You're wasting your time. And the one chapter that got me was that it described what hack meant. And I'd been getting called hack since I started comedy, but I just thought it meant shite. I just thought people like, you're hack. I didn't realise it had an actual meaning behind it. And when I was reading this book, I was listening to the audiobook when I was driving along, and it described a hack as somebody who second guesses their audience and writes things that they think people will find funny, as opposed to writing what they have got in them and they want to go out into the world. They don't have a message, they just want to entertain. And I like, as I was listening to that, and I felt like being physically sick, because I was like, oh fuck, that's my process. My process is sitting going, what will people find funny? Allahu Akbar, Allah. And that was literally what I was doing, to try and be like, what will make them laugh? What will make them laugh? So when I heard that, it was like, it just cuts through it, and you're like, oh shit, right, I need to make some changes, not to my set or my material, whatever. I need to make changes to my creative process overall. And it made a massive difference, man. So the creative curve, I will definitely investigate, man. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a great book, and like I said, it just, like you said, it cuts through and takes you, and I was suddenly going, all right. I'm not saying that every person they may spend 10 years trying to be a painter, they're going to be Van Gogh at the end of it. But if somebody spent 10 years trying to learn to paint, they're probably going to be a pretty good artist at the end of it. I've seen some statistics recently. It was on a painter, say it was Van Gogh, and it said like he sold like 375 paintings in his entire life. And they're all famous and they're all wonderful. But it was like he painted like 5,000 different works of art. Like it was you only know about the big ones. You didn't see the thousands that he'd battled out to get better. Man. Exactly. I think that took the pressure off me with stand-up as well, because I was like, we need to get somewhere, we need to go. And I was like, no, we don't. We just need to learn. And there's no end to learning. No. So instead of seeing there like being an end goal, I'm like, I'll sell out the Kings and then I'll be happy. No, I won't. I'll be as depressed, but I've sold out the Kings. That's it. That's it. But if you can like set and go, I just want to keep learning. I want to keep getting better, which is hard for me, man, because I'm egotistical, man. I've always been egotistical because it's like, I was always quite good at the things that I'd done when I was younger, like quite quickly. So I was either really shite at it, sports, getting with birds. I was like, patch it, leave it forever, or I was immediately not too bad at it. And that gave me this kind of dualistic thinking where either when I would approach something, I'd be like, it's either going to be in the I'm good at it pile or the I'm shite at it pile. And then it wasn't until like my early 20s that like I started to be like, okay, cool, maybe there's maybe a middle way here. Yeah. Like Buddha. He's like, middle way, man. Middle way. But yeah, no, it's good, man. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad you came on the podcast. Thank you, man. And, it was genuinely been one of my life goals to be a guest on a podcast, man. So well, there you go. Take it off the list. Literally, I've got a wee note on my phone. It says life goal. I'll take it off. My 6 subscribers didn't they say anything about that? They will love this. There we go. Guest on a podcast. There you go. Ticked off. And I camped out under the stars in Abu Dhabi as well.
Very cool.
There we go, man. 2 life goals.
2 life goals done.
Cannot
Very cool.
complain.
So let's just plug your show one more time. It's doing it at the Mango at the Glasgow Comedy Festival.
It's called 1001 Arabian Neds. It is my entire life story about how my Arab family and white family came together to produce me, how I abandoned said Arab family, and then how we returned to become one big, weird, cohesive unit. Come find out about it. It's March 21st at Mango, 10 p.m. You can get tickets on ctickets.com or go to Google and type in 1001 Arabian Neds. No that many tickets left. So move your ass and put this up before March, please.
It'll certainly go up. It'll certainly go up, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Genuinely,
Cheers.
thank you for me.
No problem.
It's been absolutely
Cheers.
lovely.
Bye.
Cheers, man.